yourself in 5 years? Imagine if in that scenario, you actually knew the answer to that question. I'm Hava Schultz, the host on this YouTube channel, a place where I provide inspiration and information on how to live a stylish, healthy, happy, minimal lifestyle. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how crazy this interview question is and prove it to you by showing you where I was 5 years ago. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Don't answer that. This is such a crazy question, and innately it is not bad. It's a good thing to be looking ahead and thinking about where you want to go. The thing is, recognize that a change in jobs, a change in relationships, a change in location, all of these things can be just the start of a domino effect that changes the entire trajectory of your life. So the reason I have a problem with it is because it's used in interviews, and in interviews, I think it can be a bit of a loaded question. If you explain your 5-year vision and it gives the HR representative on the other side any reason to doubt seeing that you would stick around, then they may not want to hire you simply because they don't understand how your 5-year vision connects. So if you're going to answer this question honestly in an interview, which I do not think anyone should lie in an interview, I think you need to be honest, pose your answers in a way that is clever and sells well, and make sure that you tie that 5-year vision back to the job that they are currently looking to interview you for. Disclaimer, I have never worked in HR. I have only studied HR a tiny bit as it relates to management in business school. So if you are an HR representative or work in that kind of department, feel free to elaborate on this below if you disagree with me, or if you have just more information you can share with us about what it looks like from the other side. Now that we've got the professional side of this question out of the way, thinking ahead and having goals for 5 years is not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing. It's good to have an idea of what you want and what you're working towards, but recognize that at this age, we are just in our 20s. While we're not kids anymore, we are still experimenting with life. We're discovering opportunities and things that are out there that we wouldn't have known about before. We're figuring out our likes and our dislikes. I think it's just important to have an idea and a vision of what you want for the future. And by the way, the clearer that vision is, the better, but still be totally open to change the whole thing, or just a little bit of it, or none of it, whatever makes sense for your life. The thing that's interesting too about the 5-year vision is that it can be kind of a personal thing. I think I kind of gave you the idea that I have always been really nervous to answer this question in interviews for fear that it will disqualify me for the position I'm going for, but I'm actually even nervous to admit my 5-year vision to you right now. And you're just my YouTube friends most likely, so you don't care. You're not going to judge me for what I'm working towards, so I'm not ready to share it yet, but hopefully as time goes on and I get to know you all better, comment below and introduce yourself because I want to know who's here, then maybe I'll be more comfortable sharing it with you. 5 years may not sound like much, but a lot changes during a demi-decade. To prove this point, I want to go through this jar of memories with you. I have not read these since I wrote them. 5 years ago was 2015. And in 2015, I graduated high school, I started dating my current boyfriend, so it's been 5.5 years together, and I started college. Now it's 2020, I've gone through all of college, I discovered a whole new world of careers and opportunities out there that is totally different than when I started college. I discovered a lot about myself, I've become more mature, I've grown, I've traveled all over the place, I have this YouTube channel, I graduated college, now I'm out of college. Everything has changed, everything is different, so I'm excited to go ahead and open this jar with you and contrast 5 years ago with today. I'm not planning to read every single little note in here because it's shoved full. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show clips of my reading the coolest or most interesting ones, or ones that really show the contrast from now and then. Before we transition into the next segment, I just wanna remind you to stick around until the end to make sure you get the interesting ideas and food for thought on the change that can happen over the course of 5 years. Now let's open the jar. If any of these include names, I'm probably just gonna say my friend, my cousin, etc. to keep identities private. My friend and I met at Highland Village for lunch. Parking was full, so I picked her up from the Apple store and we drove down to the street to Central Market. After walking around the overwhelming vast floor of prepared foods and eating tasters in the bakery section, we bought a loaf of sourdough bread, brie cheese, cool fun drinks, and sat on the ground of the upstairs porch watching the Houston traffic. We chatted the whole time and I really enjoyed the novel way of eating lunch. I am still friends with this friend and we're still close friends. My friend and I started doing yoga at Yoga One Monday with the 30 days for $30 deal. We have been to 2 Foundations of Yoga classes so far. This morning my friend and I went to a Warm 60 class. It was intense and I sweat a lot, but I liked it. I'm really enjoying yoga so far. I stretch, learn how to breathe, and relax. Wow, this was my first time really trying yoga out and I enjoyed it, and I did it a ton after that, and then I stopped for a long time, and I just bought a yoga mat this weekend to get back into it, and now I know all different types of yoga. I've had many different instructors and I really love yin yoga. I went to the rodeo with a friend and I think I got to see Hunter Hayes, which was super cool. And I was in section 103, which is pretty darn close. It was also really chilly that night. It was in the 30 degrees range. So we got some really warm buttered corn, which hit the spot and is such an amazing part of the rodeo in Houston. Highly recommend. It's 2020, the rodeo didn't happen this year, but I still go at least once most years, given that it's the biggest event living here in Houston. Oh my gosh, I actually put the ticket to that rodeo concert I told you about here, and I got autographs at the Cowboys who were there that night. At the end of lunch today, a friend told me that she and some friends are going bowling Saturday evening and she wants to invite me. It felt so good to have someone want me. Even if she doesn't end up inviting me, I feel so complimented that she thought to include me. In high school, primarily 10th and 11th grade, I really had a hard time with the fact that nobody ever initiated with me. I was always the one to reach out, and if I didn't reach out to someone, nobody thought of me. I felt left out a lot. I didn't really fit in any one particular group, and nobody ever thought to text me, so it was just kind of hard. People liked me, people liked when I was around, and it's not that they would say no, but nobody ever initiated with me. Now I do have a few friends that do initiate with me, although I do still tend to be the initiator in my friendships. But the difference is now I'm okay with it because I recognize that the fact that they answer back is really wonderful, and these people do still care about me. If you are my friend and you initiate with me, know that that matters more than you probably realize. Even if you're not my friend and you initiate, that's just, I really appreciate it. I don't remember ever going bowling with these people, but that was so cool. Uh-oh, here's another big one. Whew. Oh, wow. I'm not gonna read this verbatim, but I wrote down all of the emails between me and a professor. Essentially, I networked my way into sitting in on a class at Rice University Jones Graduate School of Business. The most important thing I wrote here, after this exchange, I realized that I can talk to anyone I want. People perceive invisible walls between them and people of prestige when in fact, if I reach out appropriately, there is no reason I can't get in touch with them. Wow, I was so mature. I was 17 when I wrote this, and that is wild because that is something that I still think about very often. Really, why can't you reach out to people that you admire, people that seem like, wow, they've accomplished so much? Just reach out, and yes, sometimes you may have to reach out a lot, you may have to try different avenues, but there's really no reason. We are all people. Looking at networking with that set of eyes will get you so far because you won't give up before trying. You won't give up before trying a lot. Very cool. Another kind of long one that I'm not gonna read exactly, but kind of goes to the same thing about I don't let those invisible walls stop me. When I was in high school, I founded a club that really didn't work out, but I really gave it a try. I founded what I called the Kindness Club, and essentially this was supposed to be a group that was all about delivering serendipitous messages and just spreading positivity and kindness. High school can be brutal. I actually got the principal to be the sponsor of my club. Usually people would seek out a teacher to be the person who's in charge of the club, but I decided that I was gonna go for the principal because I really liked him, and I thought that the leader of the school should definitely be backing kindness. At this point, he was already the founder of the club. Last week, I emailed the principal about the Kindness Club yearbook photo, letting him know it would mean a lot to me if he would come for my senior yearbook. I wrote down the email correspondence. He said, I'll be there. I wrote, sure enough, he came. In fact, as much as I wanted him to be next to me in the photo, when the new co-VP showed up last minute, he gave his seat to her and stood on the other side. I thought that was really kind. My club is the only one with the principal in the photo anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find that and flip up a photo here for you to see that, because that was amazing. Oh my gosh! After I left a family friend's house, I pulled up to the stop sign and saw a woman walking on the sidewalk talking on the phone. She looked like my 4th grade math teacher. I couldn't quite tell, but I rolled down the window, taking the risk of embarrassing myself. I asked if she was the name of my teacher, and she was. I said, you may not remember me because I look a lot different, but I am Hava Schultz. She immediately lit up and couldn't believe it. I sat at the stop sign for 15 minutes with my hazards on while talking to her about the big stuff in my life. It was so exciting to see and talk to her because she loved and I think maybe favored me in elementary school. Sometimes you gotta take chances. I risked embarrassing myself, but it was so worth it because I got 15 minutes with an amazing teacher from elementary school. Today was the Super Bowl. I didn't really watch the game, but Katy Perry's halftime performance was amazing. She really knows how to put on a show. While some people were watching football, I was roasting marshmallows. My mom and I managed to get my dad's permission under the condition that we don't make a mess and don't set the marshmallows on fire. I made a few beautiful golden brown marshmallows. Then I made a video at my cousin's request. On the video, I explained that we couldn't make a mess, and just as the words left my lips, my mom's marshmallows set on fire. It was funny. My dad pretended to not see it. Oh my gosh, I've tried to get him to let me do this since then, and it's been a hard no. Aww, this is so sweet. In 2014-2015 school year, I was volunteering a lot in my mom's classroom because she had some students that were really gifted academically. So I would come in and teach them upper level math concepts like advanced geometry and algebra 2. I don't want to read the story word for word because there are so many memes all over it. There was this one kid who was super cute and so smart, and I loved him so much, and he was really excited for the school spelling bee. I printed out a piece of paper and I colored a big bee and wrote spelling bee on it and gave it to him as a good luck and congratulatory thing, and he actually made first place. People were cheering for him. He wrote this to my mom. Dear Ms. Schultz, hello. I just wanted to thank Hava for making such a beautiful and thoughtful card for, oh, his mom sent this appreciation. He loved it. When he brought it home, he wouldn't let his brother or me touch it. He did not want us to mess it up. Hava is so kind to have taken such an interest in him. He is proud to be her friend. You have raised a considerate, smart, lovely young lady who is generous of spirit. Thank you for that. Take care, and his mom's name. I loved this family so much. They moved away to New York City at the end of the school year, and I wish I could get back in touch with them. I would love to reconnect. I can't even imagine. This boy is probably in high school now and all grown up, but I really had a connection with this kid, so I would love to reconnect. That would be amazing. Oh, this is part of it. Whoa. In Hebrew, I took 2 foreign languages in high school. I took French and Hebrew. I learned the word upstairs. I broke it down this way and saw a connection to its meaning. My teacher said that I was seeing the word correctly and she was impressed. And what I noticed is that the prefix to and from going up and down the stairs, because going up is the root Allah. Ha! On the back I have some math. Foreign languages were something I was really good at. So I really connected with multiple kids in my mom's class that year, and one of them made this cute little envelope that opens, and on the back it's got flowers. Now I'm gonna see what's inside the envelope. You're the coolest. You are the best. You are a great friend. I'm really connected with these kids. I wonder where she is now. I saw her in the library sometimes a couple years ago when I was tutoring and she was in middle school, but I have no idea. She's got to be in high school too now. I wrote, I was the only one who went to school. And my mom wrote me a note and she said, your persistence is so inspirational. You are a powerful role model to all of us. Thanks again, Mom. I love these notes from my mom. I'll have to do this for my kids and I have kids someday. But what happened that day? Well, I was pretty serious about my attendance because I hated makeup work. My cousin and I just FaceTimed for an hour. We laughed so much about stupid high school people and the situation with a certain boy crushing on me. I'm glad we talked. Oh my god, yeah, I remember how awkward it would be when boys would crush on me, and I knew it because you could just get a vibe, but I didn't want to say anything, so I pretended to like not know, but then awkward things would happen. Just to be clear, I never laughed at someone for crushing on me, but I would definitely laugh at the weird situations that would occur. And it was also really nice to talk to my cousin about how to handle some of the awkwardness, because this particular situation was someone that I had class with every single day. Now, it doesn't matter if people crush on me because I have a very serious boyfriend, so taken. Bye. More mom notes. I love you. Thanks for being my friend. Love, Mom. Thank you for being my friend. Yeah, my mom and I are like this. Leia and I went to Cloud9, a new massage place, and got relatively inexpensive foot massages that were more like full body massages. It was so relaxing. I want to get a massage once per week once I have the finances to do so. Yes, old Hava, new Hava still wants to do that, but we don't have the finances yet. Oh, it's called Super Sticky. I just want to note that almost all of these are written on Post-it notes. Post-it, love your products. They are so high quality that 5 years later, these things still stick so much I have trouble pulling them apart. Ooh, you know how I love a good deal? I wrote down a list of amazing deals I got, what the item would have cost originally, and what I actually paid for it. Some of these things were at garage sales or at thrift stores or consignment stores, secondhand places. Probably most of these were. Well, no, there's a $200 Nautica jacket I got for $40 at Ross. I got a $300 Burton coat for $5, which I think I need to get rid of. I still have it, but it doesn't fit me, it's size large. I got $200 UGG boots for $25, a 100% cashmere scarf for $5, a bag over $100 for $28, which I still get compliments on to this day, a $170 Ann Taylor Perfect N Forever Ageless tweed jacket for $54, an $80 to $90 Zara dress for $4, and I guess I got my sister black pumps because I was proud that I got Vince Camuto black pumps for $15. There's several others, but it's not worth our time. Oh, my mom wrote, thank you for helping with the dishes tonight. You're welcome, and now I do the dishes way more than I did back then, so maturity has gone up. I do the dishes a ton for my family. Oh my god, this is amazing. Remember what I told you about how much it meant to me when people initiated, because that rarely happened? I was just friends with my boyfriend. We hadn't started dating yet. I don't even know where we were as far as like crush level even, but we were definitely friends. And I wrote, Sam Gerlich texts me out of the blue. For example, I told him the other day that I was going to Galveston yesterday, so he sent me a message today asking how it was. I think it's so cool because it gives me hope that in college, people will think of me not only when I'm right in front of their faces. Well, I don't know if that's true. I think it is a little true, but oh, we were so cute. FaceTimed with my little cousins, and apparently during the call they started rolling backwards. I don't even know what that means, but I said they're so cute and funny. So many of these have been from January and February. Wow, I was really on top of it in the beginning. By the way, this activity that you're seeing was something that I saw on Facebook in December of 2014, and it was this idea that you should write memories and put them in a jar, and then at the end of the calendar year, you open them all up and enjoy the positive memories of what happened. And I think my mom did it too and made it like a few months in, but I actually stuck with it, I thought, throughout most of the year, although so far we're seeing a lot of January and February. Who knew that I would actually do it and then make a video out of it later? I'm gonna summarize this and then read a little bit. I went to pick up my mom and my sister from a birthday party at a family friend's house. I went in and I actually met a friend of theirs who was a professional wedding makeup artist, and I asked if increased divorce that leads to remarriage has impacted the wedding business, because now there's more weddings happening with some people having more than one. She said that she hadn't thought about it, so she took me and asked someone there who is a psychologist, and we had a very interesting conversation about marriage and relationship decisions, etc. He noted that it takes $65 and 2 signatures on wedding certificate to get married, and $50,000 to $100,000 and about a year to get divorced. He had very interesting things to say. Food for thought. I guess I never got the answer to my question, so if you work in the wedding industry, let me know if increased marriages has led to increased business for the people in those fields. Another academic question being answered. After stats class today, when everyone else left, rainfall was the subject of the problem I was finishing, and a question I'd been wondering about for 24 hours wandered back into my brain. I asked my teacher and someone else that was there if snowfall is calculated with rainfall. My teacher said it was a good question and didn't know the answer. The other person there looked it up and said that there's a conversion. Every 10 inches of snowfall is counted as 1 inch of rainfall. Fun fact. What a fun everyday memory. This morning, my mom and I walked around Rice Village together. She had a green tea and a warm croissant ready for me when I showed up. I must have met her there. And we poked in and out of Soho, a big sale in the boutique, and a new spice shop. It was nice. That's just such an everyday thing. My mom and I do still do stuff together like that, but at this point we usually just go together. We're getting low and everything has still been from early in the year. Another academic epiphany. In stats today, we learned about normal distribution of means. I was thinking about it in the evening, and I realized that we literally just graphed the law of large numbers, but nobody even mentioned it in class. I emailed my teacher as soon as I put 2 and 2 together. I also identified the pattern that the normal distribution of means take is the same as the limits in calculus. It has been so long since I've looked at this stuff, I don't even know what I just said. Oh my gosh. Tonight I stayed up until almost 3 a.m. texting with Sam Gerlich. He is really funny and it was cool to learn about someone new. Oh my gosh. Can you believe that? Let's hope this is a really good finale. This one's in January too. I thought I did this throughout the whole year, but I guess not. We're gonna finish the jar with something academic. Yesterday in AP Stats, we took a test. My teacher said that every year this test has gotten the lowest grades. I got a 95. Sweet! I guess this was my January, February highlights, except for that one that was from May of 2015. Take a look at all this here. Looking back at my 2015 memories has really gotten me excited to start my memory book. This is a 1 line a day, 5-year memory book, and essentially the concept is that when you open it up, there are 5 sections per page. You fill in the years, so 2020, 21, 22, so on and so forth, and then each day, at the end of every day, you write down what you did, even if it's just a simple, quick 1 line, and then the following year, you'll get to that same page again, you'll see what you did, and then the 3rd year, and so over the course of 5 years, you get to observe how your life has changed. So this is neat because this will be a little bit more incremental and more thorough than this January, February compilation. I haven't started mine yet, even though if you check out this video right here, you'll see when I actually purchased it, because I was thinking it'd be fun to start it on January 1st, 2021. So then I'll have 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. Tony Robbins has said people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, and they underestimate what they can do in 5 years. I am so excited to see what is gonna happen over the next 5 years from age 23 to 28. Or I'll be 24 in 6 months, so 24 to 29. By the time I finish the book, I'll probably be 29, I think. Mind-blowing to really think about that. And where do I see myself in 5 years? I'm not ready to answer that, but I definitely plan to continue forward with my content creation, being an on-camera lifestyle host, working as a video producer behind the scenes. This is something that I love, I can't take away from my life, and I hope that it only grows as well as many other really important parts of my life. To end the video and start the conversation, I want you to drop a comment below saying where you were 5 years ago compared to where you are now. This will be really interesting to see because you saw that I was finishing high school, starting college, starting a relationship, and then fast forward 5 years and I'm finished with college and I have an amazing relationship and I'm graduated but I'm living at home and I'm creating all the time. But for you, you may have started where I am 5 years ago, or right now you might be where I was 5 years ago. So let's get this conversation going and see how life really changes, and I'm not the only one who's experiencing this much of a contrast. If you want to support me on my quest to create for you full-time, go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for this channel. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video.